Hey Fragrance Junkie gang, welcome back to the channel. If you are new, welcome. It is already the end of May, so it is time for my end of the month home fragrance empties. Starting with the room sprays, I finished up White T-shirt and Laundry Day. And as far as the wax melts, I finished up a pack of Gain wax melts and then the All Is Well Relax Lavender, Jasmine, and Chamomile Soy Wax blends. This was gifted to me from one of my friends, so I never purchased the All Is Well brand from Walmart for wax melts. I usually just do Better Homes and Gardens and Sensationals, but the All Is Well had a good strength and throw. I think I was using 2 cubes at a time on 2 different wax warmers, so I would definitely pick this one up again. Then we have Ice Sweet Tea from Goose Creek. This was about a 5.5 to 6 out of 10 in my open concept, so it mostly filled the room it was placed in. I did go ahead when I placed the order for this candle and picked up 2 of these just in case it was super popular and sold out before I got my hands on another one. Ice Sweet Tea has scent notes of tea leaves, lemon zest, honey, and sugar. Definitely has that like Lipton iced tea fragrance to it. Glad I have a backup because I really did enjoy this one. And towards the end, a little bit of wick residue was just getting into the wax pool, but for the most part, the candle burned completely clean. If it's still around, I know Goose Creek for the Memorial Day holiday weekend just had an amazing sale with candles that I reviewed starting at $7.99, but I did not pull the trigger. So if this one is still around in the summertime and I feel the need to purchase another one, I will. But I feel like the one backup of this is good enough. Plus I have the 2 iced tea fragrances from Bath and Body Works. So I would, if I wanted to grab this to hold on to for next year, I would, but I think I'm just gonna enjoy the one backup that I have. Then we have Shimmering Seascape, aka Emerald Sea Glass from Goose Creek. This was about a 6.5 in a hurricane in my open concept, but in my bedroom it was a solid 7 without a hurricane. Emerald Sea Glass has scent notes of sea spray, sea salt, breeze, minerals, and cool waters, and this is that nice aquatic spa zen. Has like an undertone of aloe to it. Fresh, clean, I don't want to say green, it has a little bit of sweetness to it. This was just a really nice like spa type of blend that I really enjoyed. No issues with the burn towards the end, just a little bit of wick residue as the candle was finishing out. This was one of those candles that had the thinner wick, so placing it in my hurricane, it didn't take as long to pull out, but without the hurricane, it slowly burned, but I was able to get at least up to 5 hours of burn time per burn. I didn't have to turn this off in 3 hours. It didn't soot, it didn't burn hot and fast. So this was a really good collection with those thinner wicks where the candles burnt nice and clean with no soot. Then I managed to finish up 3 of my Yankee candles. This is Rainbow Blossoms from the Easter collection. This was a solid 6 and both are open and closed concept. I could have finished burning this one a little bit more, but as you can see, my wicks kept drifting. Like one wick just kept drifting towards the end of the burn. I got tired of like pushing it over with the wick dipper. So it was towards the end, I just went ahead and blew it out. This was a nice like floral blend. I believe Hyacinth was one of the main florals in here mixed with a lot of other florals. It wasn't as sweet as the Easter bouquet candle, but I still enjoyed this one. I would repurchase it. I know Yankee is having their semi-annual sale as I am recording this, but I have to make room for fall candles, so I went ham way before the semi-annual sale with Yankee and bought some classic fall scents and some scents that I had before that I wanted from winter, holiday, and fall. So I have to make room for the newer stuff that's coming out, but if this returns next year, I would definitely repurchase it. Then the next 2 Yankees I finished up, Aloe and Agave and Easter Bouquet from the Easter collection. I did back this one up. I saw this on the clearance shelf in the store when I went shopping there. I want to say like 2 weeks ago, but I told myself I need to make room for fall. So I already repurchased this one from Target. This one, I will wait and see if it returned next year in order to repurchase it. Both of them had a solid 7 strength and throw and both are open and closed concept. And both of them burned beautifully with no issues, no soot, no murky wax, no drowning wicks, none of that. And I got a nice long burn time with both of these candles. This one drifted towards the end. That's one thing about the Yankee candles. Some of them, the wicks can drift towards the end of the candle finishing out, so you definitely want to keep an eye on that. But other than like puny wicks and super sooty burns, I don't really have that issue with Yankee. Next up, we have Aranciata Gelato from the Traveler collection from Goose Creek. This was a orange forward fragrance. I was expecting it to be a little more creamier, like an orange creamsicle, but to me this smelled more like an orange popsicle. Solid 7 strength and throw in my open concept without being placed in a hurricane. I'm not the biggest fan of like certain like straightforward fruity scents like orange, grape. So I have to be in the mood for those. So I wouldn't repurchase this one. But towards the end, the wax pool just got a little discolored, but no major sooting in the jar. I enjoyed this one. If this was more of what I expected it to be, like an orange creamsicle fragrance, then I probably would have repurchased it. But I have cranberry orange seltzer next on my list to burn this summer, so I don't really need to repurchase this one. Then I finished up Vanilla Sands from Goose Creek. This fragrance did return. I did not repurchase it yet. I'm not sure if I plan to this year. This was between a 6 when it started out, the first half of the candle, and by the other half towards the end, in and out of a hurricane, it was between a 6.5 to a 7. No issues with the burn, not too much soot, just a little bit probably towards me finishing out the candle, because I think I did burn this super long towards the end just to finish it out. This is a nice vanilla sandalwood blend, so if you know you like vanilla and sandalwood, you can't go wrong with this candle. Then we have Fresh Cut Lilacs from Bath and Body Works. I believe this was from the 2022 packaging. This always has a high strength and throw. I don't think it was as high like a powerhouse as it normally is, but it still was like a solid 8 for me in an open and closed concept. No issues with the burn, just a little bit of wick residue in there. I think I have one more of these in 2023's candle packaging, so I didn't pick up any this year in the newer packaging, but I like Fresh Cut Lilacs. It does lean a little artificial lilac smelling, but I do like the overall scent, so I would still repurchase this, at least one of them every spring season. I really enjoy Sweet Kiwi and Starfruit from Bath and Body Works. This was about a 6.5 in my open concept without being placed in a hurricane, so it mostly filled the room it was placed in and traveled a little bit outside of that area. Nice clean burn on this one, no issues, no soot collected around the jar. I actually like this fragrance better than the newer one that came out in the summer collection. I think it was Starfruit Sangria. This one was really good. If it came back next year, I will repurchase it. 2 candles that ended up going on my warmer within the first half of the candle burning due to hot, fast burns with excessive soot. Strawberry Shortcake Rolls and Côte de Jour. Strawberry Shortcake Rolls was between a 5 to 6 strength and throw, and this one was between a 7 to an 8. I got tired of blowing this out every 2 hours just to keep it from getting super sooty. So once I start seeing soot too early into the burn around the rim of the candle and stuff, I just go ahead and toss it on the warmer, especially if it's burning hot and fast and I gotta keep an eye on it and blow it out every hour and a half to 2 hours. So this was finished up on my kitchen warmer where it filled like most of my kitchen and dining room area. And then Côte de Jour was such a nice fruity blend, but it was, if you saw my review, the wax pool on this one, I think by the second burn was getting super murky. I kept this in my living room area where it kind of blended with the Strawberry Shortcake Roll, but mostly traveled from my living room and up my staircase. So it was a nice fruity scent. I wish I could have finished burning it, but it did serve its purpose on the warmer. I would not repurchase these 2 candles, just based off of the burn performance. Fragrance I enjoyed, but the burn performance wasn't it for me. 2 candles that I enjoyed individually and blended together, Emerald Palm and Jasmine Cabana, because both of these were more fruit forward fragrances than floral and green like I thought they would be. Out of these 2, I would probably repurchase Jasmine Cabana and not Emerald Palm. Not that I didn't enjoy this one, but I enjoyed Jasmine Cabana more. Both of these were like in the 6 to 7 range in an open and closed concept. I believe these 2 may still be available on the Goose Creek website. So if you like more of a fruit forward fragrance than a green one and more of a fruit forward fragrance than a floral one, then these 2 are good. They're nice together and they're good on their own. As far as the burn, no issues on Emerald Palm. And no major issues as far as soot being collected in the jar with Jasmine Cabana. Y'all know I enjoy rose fragrances, so I really enjoyed Pure Red Rose from Goose Creek. Outside of the Hurricane, it was about a 6.5 in my open concept, but when placed in a Hurricane, it was a solid 7.5. And then in my bedroom, it was between a 7.5 without the Hurricane and a solid 8.5 in a Hurricane. I contemplated picking this one up, but I do have more florals that I want to finish, and I do have plenty of other rose scented candles and rose blends that I want to finish up. So I don't know. I really do like this one. I do want another one. The burn was nice on this one. No soot collected in the jar. The wax pool didn't get super murky. It didn't burn hot and fast. It was just beautiful. Scent notes on this one says, I don't think these notes are accurate. The one on the website, I feel like with the, I think it was a rose, a violet, a green leaf note, and something else. That sounds more accurate, but this says lemon zest, desert rose, cactus blooms, and sandalwood. Yeah, I get more of like a rose with another floral blend in the background with this one. But really pretty fragrance. If you enjoy rose fragrances while this one is still available, if the Memorial Day sale is still going on, then this is a good one to pick up. Pink Lemonade, another good one I enjoyed from Goose Creek. This had a strong medium to high throw, so I will rate this a 7 to an 8 in an open and closed concept. This fragrance has returned, so if you want a nice strawberry lemonade blend that has a good strength and throw to it, I don't know if this year's version is as strong as the one from last year, but this is a nice authentic like strawberry lemonade blend. So if you like those type of fragrances, Pink Lemonade is a good one. Little bit of wick residue towards the end of the burn, but for the most part it burned fine for me with no issues. I don't know if I'm gonna get around to repurchasing it this year, but if it returned again, I would definitely repurchase it. Y'all already know, if y'all watch my channel, I'm always gonna have a white tea and sage in my burn rotation. Y'all know I love this fragrance. This was between a 7 to a 7.5, so a 7 outside of a Hurricane, 7.5 in a Hurricane. For this to be in the matte jar, I didn't get an excessive amount of soot really around the rim. The wax really didn't get too discolored like I thought it would, because this had those thick rope-like wicks. I think I have about 4 white tea and sage left in my stash. I'm going to try not to buy one at the semi-annual sale. But I went ahead and burnt this packaging from this year first, because I wanted to keep my other cuter packaging since they did not release it in like a pretty spring green packaging. I don't know why they did this, but other than that, love the fragrance, always will repurchase it. Last up, we have Vintage from Bath & Body Works. Now, when this first came out, because I love masculine fragrances, I wanted this one when it first came out. I think I came across this last year. I started seeing it in multiple stores around semi-annual sale, either between the summer and winter sales, and I finally went ahead and picked it up just for it to smell like dark amber and oud. It has scent notes of blue lavender, fresh pepper, and vintage wood, but all I got was dark amber and oud with this one. And it was between a 6 to a 7 strength and throw in my bedroom. I don't mind dark amber and oud, but it's other masculine cologne type fragrances that I like more. So if I saw Vintage, I would not pick it up again. Other than the wick residue in the jar, if the camera is picking that up, for the most part, it burned nice and clean with no issues. But Vintage, aka Dark Amber Oud, is a one and done for me. That's it, you guys. That concludes my May home fragrance empties video. I finished up about 17 candles, so a little less than what I'm normally used to finishing up. But when I'm doing constant burn reviews, I like to burn that one specific candle. I don't like to blend it or have any other fragrances going on in my home while I'm doing reviews. So since I have been doing heavy reviewing and I plan to still do that going into the month of June, I'll be lucky if I have 20 empties for my June home fragrance empties. If you happen to like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and until next time, bye.